Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Bengal Buzz. I'm Brianna Negron, and today we're discussing the effects of isolation. However, today there could be a million reasons why you're feeling isolated. We've all blamed plenty of our reasons on COVID, and we tend to forget that we were actually in a global pandemic. We were kept in our homes for 2 years and couldn't attend school in person. We had to wear masks every time we left the house. People visited their grandmas and had to hug them through a plastic sheet. I feel like we really don't give ourselves enough credit for getting past that time of life. When you really think about it, this disease impacted us greatly, and we see that in our businesses that are still recovering and the nation, which is still recovering from this disease. But how are people doing? How are we doing mentally? How are we overcoming the habits we've made during that time? Because of COVID, I feel like a lot of people have become used to social isolation because it was mandatory at some point. Like, that was our regular for 2 years. It feels natural and like familiar. Like, it feels like that's how we're supposed to be. But humans are social. We need our daily interactions and communities. So when people don't feel comfortable being isolated or surrounded by people who have lost their social skills, they feel like they're the problem. Independence is important. We know this, but it's just as important to be able to accept other people's company. It goes back and forth depending on the type of person, but for the people that love socializing and hate being alone and dread to be alone, they need to learn to be comfortable spending time by themselves. Because if you're relying on other people to make you feel good, you're not going to be able to be as happy as you should. You need to learn how to make yourself feel heard and seen before you should look for someone else to do that for you. And if you love being alone and you think that it doesn't hurt anyone because you're happy like this and you love it, that's me, by the way. And if that's you, you're very lucky. I've seen it from both sides, and I've been at times where I dreaded the weekends because I didn't want to be by myself. And I've also wanted to go into my room and never see another person again. But it's important when you are independent like that you need to understand why having support systems and maybe low maintenance friendships is going to help you a lot. And those low maintenance friendships, the ones that you can not talk for weeks on end, but you know that they're going to be for you, they're going to be there for you, and you can be there for them, and it's like no time goes by. It's important to have those people who you don't need contact with every second of the day, because no matter what, you guys are still going to have that bond, and it doesn't put a lot of pressure on you. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely, and if you cut everyone off, you know, whether it's on purpose or not, that it will affect you in some way. Obviously, COVID isn't the only reason we're isolated. Maybe it's just because you find it really hard to make friends, or you feel like there aren't a lot of people similar to you. You could unintentionally be self-sabotaging yourself, and there's a million reasons why we may feel isolated apart from loneliness. But what are we going to feel because of this? Going through life all on your own is obviously going to make you feel stressed because you feel like you can't lean on somebody, or you feel like you shouldn't let yourself lean on someone because you feel you need to be strong and independent, and you're just breaking yourself down. Your body is a system, so if one thing is off in the slightest, you're going to feel that everywhere. You're going to be stressed, your blood pressure is going to be high, you're feeling anxious, and all of this because you aren't accepting the comfort of having others around you, or because you feel like you can't find someone to socialize with. Ultimately, extended isolation often leads to depression because we aren't stimulating our body's daily needs. Your cortisol levels and hormones are going to be unbalanced, which makes you feel stressed, which makes you lose sleep, which throws off your entire system because everything is connected. And it's not like you need to be constantly socializing with somebody to get your daily fill, because if you love independence, you love being alone, you love being in quiet moments, sometimes it's best just to have that friend that can come over and watch movies in silence. Or maybe you put yourself out there each day by complimenting someone. It doesn't have to be deep conversations every single day. It could be the smallest thing from a stranger that helps you out. So my advice to everyone is work on making stronger relationships. Those support systems are so rewarding. You don't need 100 friends to feel like you're worth something, and you don't need to constantly be in contact with someone either. Almost every time when making a choice, the most comfortable decision won't be all the way to the left or all the way to the right. It's gonna be somewhere in that gray middle area. So this is just another one of those situations where you don't want to be completely dependent on others, but you don't want to be alone all the time. Try to meet new people and stick to the ones who you know will stick to you, because there is someone who compliments you waiting around the corner. You're never alone. And sometimes the closest friends you will make have never been touched by the same emotions or experiences that you have. You don't need to find someone who's exactly similar to you. Sometimes it's the opposites that attract, or sometimes you feel like you see yourself in a person like a mirror. You never know who is going to change your life, so give somebody a second chance. Thank you so much for choosing to come back and listen to this week's episode. I hope you all have an amazing spring break, and remember that when we come back, there will be new episodes every single week, and there's constantly new things to read on the Roaring Bengals website, so check that out. And if you haven't, follow the FEHS newspaper Instagram and take some time to relax and reset. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of your mind, and take care of your body. Bye, Bengals!